Thereof, over a mile and a half, the King George V Cup, listed race for 3 rows. Short run of the first turn. It is Dawn Spirit just leading up. What's Your Game, Titanium Emperor, followed by Rook of Cashel, Adaway, Bay Colony next with Nui. One from last, Acapulco Bay, and the back marker is Zahraan. 10 furlongs out, and it's Dawn Spirit, just headed by Rook of Cashel. Break of a length and a half to What's Your Game, who's contesting third, with Adaway 2 lengths to Titanium Emperor, and then Nui and Bay Colony, Acapulco Bay, and Zahraan the final couple. Well stretched out, Rook of Cashel builds up a lead of 3 lengths with less than 9 furlongs to go. Dawn Spirit is second. Third is What's Your Game, and fourth is Adaway, then Nui. Titanium Emperor has dropped ground, and then Acapulco Bay, who joins Bay Colony, with the back marker continuing to be Zahraan. Directly across from the stands with 7 furlongs to go. In the lead is Rook of Cashel and Wayne Lorton, being followed by Dawn Spirit and Dylan Brown McMonigal. And then What's Your Game? Colin Keane on the inside of Adaway and Billy Lee as they race towards the 6 furlong point, marking the halfway stage in the King George V Cup. Rook of Cashel being followed by Dawn Spirit. Then What's Your Game? Adaway next, and then Nui and Titanium Emperor. Acapulco Bay, Bay Colony together, and finally Zahraan. Turning off the back straight, Rook of Cashel with a reduced advantage of 2.5 lengths over Dawn Spirit. And What's Your Game edging third from Adaway as they reach the final half mile. Adaway a couple of lengths in front of Nui and Titanium Emperor, with the back 3 Acapulco Bay, Bay Colony, and Zahraan. Racing just outside the concluding 3 furlongs is Rook of Cashel, leading by 2 lengths to Dawn Spirit. And What's Your Game? Pushed along on the outside is Adaway, then Nui. Titanium Emperor is followed by Acapulco Bay, Zahraan and Bay Colony as they straighten with a quarter to run. Rook of Cashel being followed by Adaway on the outside of What's Your Game. Dawn Spirit has dropped 2 spots, being followed then by Nui. Down the outside, Zahraan with Titanium Emperor. Acapulco Bay, as the door showed, racing inside the final 200 yards. Adaway is headed now by Zahraan. Zahraan has come from last to first and is set to double his career total in the King George V Cup. Impressively too, from Adaway, Acapulco Bay.
Zahraan still has, a length and a half to find in Acapulco Bay at this stage. He's still last as they're turning for home. He comes outside him all right, but here's the impressive part for Zahraan. He really picks up, and Acapulco Bay is in front of him at this point. Zahraan comes up on his outside, and yeah, I don't think too many excuses for Acapulco Bay. He just can't quicken like Zahraan does. Here, Arroway's hit the front, but as soon as he does, you can see Zahraan bearing down on him. He does move a bit to his left, Zahraan, and Ben Coen whipping his left hand. That's to straighten him out and get him going forward, but he's really pulled away on the run to the line. He's seen out this 1.5-mile trip really strongly.
He still really looks like a work in progress.
Yeah,
just watch him on this head on, Don. I think we'll find he's having a good look at everything once he joins issue up top here. Just watch his head here as Ben Coen just goes to ask him the question to go and put it to bed.
He has to pull him off Arroway, doesn't he? Like he's moving right in there, even though Ben Coen has got his whip in his left hand keeping him, and he still wants to go to his left even after that. He's well clear of Arroway at that point, and he moves all the way over towards the inside rail. But yeah, as you said, Gary, still showing signs of greediness. It's only his 3rd run, so yeah, there could be a fair amount of improvement forthcoming.
I think there could well be. He's a fine looking horse as well, as you can see. He's not in the Irish Derby, Don. What do you think? Worth a supplementary? We'll obviously ask the trainer the question.
Yeah. Look, he's got the pedigree for it by Night of Thunder out of Zanda, she's a
timing would fit well.
Thanks, stakes winner. What?
The timing fits well.
It does, yeah, it absolutely does.
Right, there is Johnny Murtagh, Pat Downs on hand to get the debrief from Ben Coen, as Zahraan is now 2 from 3 and a listed winner. Johnny Murtagh is alongside me. Zahraan has just continued his climb up the ladder by landing the list at King George V Cup. Coming from last to first, Johnny, just how taken were you by that performance?
Good performance. We plan to be a little bit closer. What Ben says, a bit of a rush onto the first bend. I just said, ride him like a good one. Just see how good he is today. It was a perfect race. Nice run round. Got to the line really well. You know, quickened up down the outside. I was delighted to see him get out in the clear and get a good hit out into him. I think he's a horse that's learning on the job. He improved a nice bit from Cork, and I think there's still plenty to go.
I was just going to ask you about the way the race unfolded, because Wayne Lorden on the front runner wasn't going that hard, and your fellas ended up having to come round them all. Should we almost be marking him up, do you reckon, for this?
Yeah, he ran. He was a bit further back than ideal, but he's a good turn of foot, this lad, and this was his first try at 1.5 miles, so we weren't quite sure. He got it well, he got the trip well, but I think 1.25 miles, 1.5 miles, we're looking forward to stepping him up in class now.
He's not in the Irish Derby. You wouldn't be tempted to supplement him by any chance, would you?
Yeah, well,
You wouldn't be out of place in it.
Listen, I kind of had penciled in that maybe we should go to Ascot for the 1.5 mile Group 2. If he won that, then you could definitely think about supplementing him then for the Irish Derby. But we'll take it race by race. We'll see how he is after the race. Listen, it's not
First world problems.
not a bad option, and you know the team supplemented one for the English Derby.
There you go, the precedent's there.
So yeah, you know we can always say that. Yeah, hey, listen, he's a progressive 3-year-old. He's a bit to go to catch up with them, but he's on the right track, and he's a great temperament, and I think there's a bit left in him.
Yeah, he's got a couple of big entries over 1.25 miles further down the line. Do you think he will prove equally effective over both?
Well, I just was talking to Pat. I said this is our Calandagan. You know, they won the 1.5 miles in Ascot with him last year, and he was able to rock up in York and all those big 1.25 mile. I think he will. He's not a slow horse, so I'm hopeful that he can keep improving through the year and he can get right to the top.
One place he won't be going is Epsom. You're heading over there, I know, to work on ITV for the couple of days. Who do you fancy for the Derby?
Very open race. Very open race. I thought straight away after the Guineas that the Guineas winner would be hard to beat. The Godolphin horse, what's his name now?
Ruling Court.
Ruling Court thought he might be, but maybe just question his stamina. Aidan is always strong. I love the Lion in Winter. I thought he was class when I seen him last year running. First time out I seen him at the Curragh, he looked class. You know, he hasn't had an ideal prep, but if anyone can get him going there in a good frame of mind, I think it's Aidan. I think he's drawn 19, which is not a bad place because, you know, the switch out to the right at Epsom, so he might get a bit of cover. If he relaxes early, I think the Lion in Winter could run a big one at a big price.
Colin Keane on board, of course. Just coming back to tonight, Johnny, a couple of runners left. Vert Paul, he went close at Ballinrobe last time as well. Fancied, obviously, that day in Amber Blossom. What do you reckon?
Yes, Amber Blossom is drawn very well. Whirlpool is not drawn so good. Amber Blossom is in the July sales. We're trying to get a bit of form into her before she goes. Whirlpool is a horse I like. He'd be much more suited with this track today, but 17 draw is, you know, in a big competitive handicap like that, it's going to be tough. But he's a horse I like, and he should improve. I have a lot of nice 3-year-olds, and they seem to be bringing each other along. So every week they're turning up. So I'm hopeful with him.
Yeah, a particularly nice 3-year-old has just done the business. Johnny, thanks a lot.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.